Hey, it's team roping time, Doug, and you know a little bit about that.
Well, we'll see what goes on today. We've got some very good teams. Now, I bet on the Saskatchewan youngsters today. They come in with the least amount of experience, but they might have the most amount of ability on the Penn-Steers that we do have here today. This is a great big arena, and this is a little more like what you might see outside if you're roping cattle out in the open on a range.
Well, and we're going to get ready for our first team. It's going to be Kurt Fletcher and Riley Roy from Wainwright and Strathmore, respectively. Now, they came in here at 11-3, and once again, we talk about that aggregate score or time. So it's the total time on two. The fastest on two going to be our determining factor here in the team roping.
That's exactly right. Now, the times as we get down to the bottom of the order here are a little bit slower than what we expected. This 11-3, I'm sure they're not pleased with that time coming in. So, in other words, they know they've got some ground to make up, and they are going to be chucking and ducking on the head side. In other words, get that head loop out of your hand as quick as you can. Kurt Fletcher on the heel side is very, very accurate. We love to watch him heel steers. They're about ready. There's Riley Roy right there on his bay horse.
Well, you know, and a lot of people who aren't familiar with this event think, hey, it's pretty easy. The header, just all he's got to do is catch. But he's got a little more action to do to set things up for his heeler, doesn't he?
Oh, you bet. You can really help your heeler if we can get those steers' hind feet moving in unison. That gives your heeler a better opportunity, a little more of a higher percentage shot to come back with both heels. You only rope one heel. We had 5 seconds to your total running time. We can see the barrier. Break that barrier, 10 to your total running time. Riley Roy is backed in behind watching. This is a third-generation kid right here. And this young man will get it out of his hand in a hurry. Look at how cool Kurt Fletcher is over on the other side. He's just watching.
Well, and those Fletchers from Wainwright, I think they're born with a rope in their hand. They all rope, and they're all good at it. All right, on the head side there, we talk about it. Uh-oh, didn't quite get him.
A steer that comes your way is very, very tough to rope, and that steer was trying to run under Riley's horse's neck. The head loop did not fit, and a miss at either end of the team roping will take you out of contention. Watch this steer. He's coming at that head horse all the way, and that inside horn just eluded Riley Roy right there. He had it on there, but when he pulled it tight, it slipped out of the mix. No time.
Well, that'll take us to our next team then. It's Travis Galley and Taylor Brower. All right, you watch these guys getting ready right now. And here's a couple of guys that, veteran guys that can get things done as well, Doug.
Oh, exactly. 11-1. Canadian champion Travis Galley there on the head side. Trav's a big guy, and you watch this big arm fire that head loop. Heading ropes are usually 30 feet long, and I'll swear that Travis Galley can throw a 30-foot rope 32 feet.
Sure,
he can really get it out of his hand. All right.
Well, you watch right there. There's the concentration. There's the nod. He's out. Now the shot right there, and that was a long shot. We talked about that. On the backside, can we get two? No. We got one, so we're going to take a 5-second penalty on the backside.
Let's look at it on the replay. This steer was good to head. It took Trav a minute to get to him and actually get him roped. Steer is pretty straight down the alley. Now watch the follow-through on that head side. There's that big arm. Now watch the hind feet on this steer. Steer's really wide on the hind end. You could see that inside heel just eluded Mr. Brower. So 5 seconds added to their running time.
So their time was 6-4 plus 5, 11-4 to go with their early 11-1. So 22-5 on two. So Dan Imler of Okotoks, Kyle Smith of Brant getting ready.
One of our best teams. We've watched these young men in the world of intercollegiate rodeo. Now, every time one of these steers runs, the Cowboys get a little bit smarter and perhaps have a bit more of an opportunity to increase their catch percentage, and they know what they have to do. Our Cowboy is aligning that head horse down there to make sure that that horse is as far away from that automatic 10-second barrier as possible. That horse should run to a point of where that barrier attaches to the heading box down there. In other words, the chute where the steer is inside of down there. That's the greatest distance on a diagonal. Gives you an opportunity to get a little bit closer to that barrier. Now we'll get this horse straightened out. Back him on in the corner. There we are. We've got the set.
Now let's talk a little bit about the barrier, because that's a great view of it right there, Doug.
Exactly. Now the steer will pull that away. When we see that steer jump out of there, if we get an opportunity, there's a rope that just pulled that barrier loose. That steer comes toward the header. Now this will be a little difficult to get two heels, but he did well. Nice follow through on the back end. Good deal. 2 heels, no broken barriers, I don't think. 7.3
pretty
straight
darn
across.
solid. That's 7-3 right there. So what that's going to do is give them 17-1 on 2. And for the moment, they are our banner carriers. They're the leaders right now with that particular result.
Well, that's a nice follow through on the heel side on that steer, and you can see it come tight. See the horn protection on the steer with that horn wrap on there. Pair of Cowboys that have both been to the Canadian Finals rodeo next to go. Great team for 2013. Clark McCarroll, Jordan Dodds. McCarrolls are famous in Canada for being great team ropers.
Boy, they really are. You know, if your last name is McCarroll and you're up in that Camrose country, there's a very good chance that you're going to be a team roper. I'll tell you what. Wow.
Jordan Dodds turns this one out, and that steer took a jump toward him, but then lined out straight. There's 2 feet, not in the loop. Oh, boy. That's a tough steer to rope. That steer jumped away from the Cowboy on the heel side. Jordan Dodds did a nice job of getting a hold of the steer. Steer took 3 jumps toward him and then lined out. Yeah, I think we might have had a different team right there.
Yeah, I believe that was Travis Booth and Clint Maddox is who that was. So we'll get ready right now for Clark McCarroll and Jordan Dodds are now. We saw Travis Booth and Clint Maddox. Sorry to those 2 guys, but unfortunately didn't work out for them anyway.
Well, they're all wearing cowboy hats and sunglasses, but I've never seen Jordan Dodds when he wasn't riding a roan horse. I should have known better than that. Backing in on that roan head horse now. Good luck to our team.
Well, and they come in at 7-3 on their first run, so they're nicely positioned right here. If they could do something a little bit rapid right now on the head side, hard run and steer, and hey, not bad, not bad.
If we've got some budding team ropers at home, we want you budding headers to watch the way that this cowboy handled this steer. That was absolutely fantastic. Look at here. We're out here. We're going to get a good, clean head catch. Watch the slack come down. That's clean. Now we take him around the corner very carefully. And look at those hind feet together. Look at the catch. Nice shot. Good deal.
And 6-8, 14-1 on 2. Going to give them the lead for the moment. Nice job by Clark McCarroll, Jordan Dodds. All right, Chad Johnson, Del Bonita, Nolan Conway of Cutbank. We've been talking about these guys a whole lot of late. They were outstanding out there at Morris together, and Chad Johnson just seems to have the hot hand right now. And this is a night. We talked about the Conways from out of Montana. This is the other half of the family, and as we get ready right now. So Chad Johnson set with Nolan Conway.
I have seen Nolan Conway head 2 steers, and in that, I would say this cowboy is absolutely world class. Watch this gray horse get to that head right in a hurry. Now watch, clean. Oh, we got a runner. Nice handle around the corner. Chad Johnson has been roping 2 toes for the last 2 weeks, but not today. Let's turn those horses around. We might have a change in the order here. Yes, we do. These are the Pascal brothers right here from Saskatchewan, from Glentworth, Saskatchewan, down inside. Let's get that head roped. There, we've got that done. Courtesy of Jesse. Here comes brother Tyler. We got 2.
Hey.
Looks all right.
Popesco's come in at 6-4. And nice job by the Cowboys from Glentworth right there, the brother combination. These guys are starting to get that confidence, Doug, that you can see it in their bearing. They go in there thinking they're going to win, and they put together a nice 7-second run here to go with 6-4, give them 13-4 right now. And by my calculation, the lead to this time.
Good deal. They were my pick to win today. Uncle Murray should be next in the order. I know we're changing things around.
Yep, we're going to go to the Texans right now. I think it's Will Woodfin, Marshall, Texas, and Tate Kirchenschlager of Bluffdale, Texas. We saw these guys a week ago, Medicine Hat. They were the champions there. Let's see if they can do it back-to-back.
They were the runaway winners there. Now, that head horse is active today, wants to get at the action. Back into the corner. Feet solidly on in there. Outside. Oh, boy. There's no head catch in there today. So the Cowboys that stepped away with the win at the Medicine Hat Stampede are not going to go home with any money for the final round today at Strathmore. Put the horses away. They'll be loading them up in the trailers and heading down the road to another rodeo. Murray Linthicum and Kevin Schreiner are waiting in the wings. They've been waiting to take their turn. They have been chomping at the bit, these veterans. You give them an opportunity, and it's always an opportunity for them, whenever you give them a steer to rope. And they've been doing the math. I'll bet they know exactly how quick they have to be to take over the lead.
All right, as we get ready right now for Murray Linthicum, Kevin Schreiner, and you talked about it. How good can they be? Well, real good, it looks like. Oh, doggone. Backside, no time.
That is not the steer of the year. That one jumped out of there, and Murray Linthicum, once again, as he did in Medicine Hat, did good to just get that steer roped. No time. One team left.
So our leaders, the Popesco boys. Your pick, by the way.
Wow.
I defer to Doug Young in the team roping, ex-team roper and a champion. So you kind of know this deal, and they're the leaders. But I'll tell you what.
Oh.
There's another team that's got something to say about that. That's Brett McCarroll of Camrose and Clint Bueller of Okotoks, because they come in at 5-2. Now let's just take a look at it. About 8-1 or faster is all they have to be. But sometimes that's dangerous when you start thinking, oh, I only have to be this fast.
You never practice to just get one caught. This one's got a little bit of a move. Can we get that back in? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that was not an easy deal. That steer was really not cooperating all that well, kind of almost turned before you wanted them to, and they checked in. Let's see if we've got the time. Let's get that time. 6 seconds flat. That's going to be 11-2 on 2. How about Clint Bueller and Brett McCarroll? Maybe not the best steer out of the pen, but they used them very, very well, and are our team roping champions for 2013 at Strathmore.